Section 144 imposed in Howrah after protests that continued even on Saturday. Howrah Police Commissioner transferred. BJP Bengal State President Shukando Mojumdar detained and then let off by the Bengal police. Situation tense in Ranchi, Jharkhand. It appears that 2 people were killed in the violence, over 20 injured. Even temples not spared in some parts as violent protests broke out. Thank you for joining us on The Burning Question tonight. I'm Niranjan, and this Saturday evening we come to you with pictures, reports from different parts of the country where some protesters, and I repeat, some protesters took law into their own hands. Some decided to carry guns. Bullets were fired in some parts of the country. In Saharanpur, children were used in the protests. Children pelted stones. And in many parts of Uttar Pradesh today, arrests have been made. Over 250 arrests in all. So Saharanpur, Prayagraj, Ranchi and Howrah. Focusing on these locations, these cities where protests broke out on Friday, where pictures are emerging this evening. Take a look and then we debate.
These pictures came in from Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh, showing the truth about what happened when a few took law into their own hands. The Uttar Pradesh police arrested 227 people from various districts in the state in connection with Friday's violence during protests against the controversial remarks of suspended BJP functionary Nupur Sharma, with Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath warning the strictest action against those attempting to vitiate the atmosphere.
हम लोगों ने अपना जो CCTV फुटेज है, वीडियोग्राफी कराई गई है, उसमें चिन्हित किए गए हैं और कल रात तक ही यहाँ पर लगभग 48 लोगों को जो है विभिन्न जो गंभीर धाराएं हैं, बलवा है और 7 क्रिमिनल लॉ अमेंडमेंट एक्ट है, इन सब धाराओं में उनको हम लोगों ने चिन्हित करा के गिरफ्तार कराया है और अभी भी वो गिरफ्तारी की प्रक्रिया चल रही है। इसमें जो भी लोग दोषी हैं उस पर उनमें सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई किया जाएगा।
Among those arrested, 68 were held in Prayagraj and 50 in Hathras. The police says 48 people were arrested in Saharanpur, 28 in Ambedkar Nagar, 25 in Moradabad and 8 in Firozabad.
कल 1 बजे के आसपास हिंसा हुई थी, 1 से 2 बजे के बीच में, इसलिए यहाँ पर फोर्सेस को तैनात किया। ये दूसरी गली है, यहाँ पर भी आप देख सकते हैं पुलिस के जवानों का सख्त पहरा है। अंदर आप देखिए बहुत सकरी गली है और यहाँ से ही लोग कल निकले थे एकाएक हाथों में पत्थर लेकर। अभी भी हमें छोटे छोटे ईंट के टुकड़े दिखते हैं, कई जगह पर दिख जाते हैं। बहुत हद तक अगर देखा जाए तो सफाई पूरी कर ली गई है, लेकिन यही वो गली है। 3 गली हमने बताई है और तीनों जगह से ये भी सामने आया, खुद एसपी ने इस बात को जाहिर किया है कि कुछ नाबालिग भी थे, कुछ नाबालिग थे जो हाथों में पत्थर लेकर आए और सुनियोजित तरीके से पत्थर बरसाए। ये देखिए आप, छोटे छोटे टुकड़े अभी भी नजर आते हैं, लेकिन यहाँ पर अब खाकी का इकबाल बुलंद है और जो जवान है वो यहाँ पर तैनात किए गए हैं।
Now look at these pictures from Ranchi in Jharkhand. Even the government says some opportunist forces conspired to disturb the peace and tranquility in state capital Ranchi in an organized fashion.
कि आप देख सकते हैं जगह जगह हनुमान मंदिर के आसपास पथराव हुए थे और उस पथराव के कारण आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ जो बोर्ड लगे हुए हैं उन बोर्ड्स में भी आप देख सकते हैं कि वो फट गए हैं और पत्थरबाजी हुई थी। आप ये देखिए मंदिर के पास पथराव हुआ था तो ये पत्थर अभी भी यहाँ पर पड़े हुए हैं। लेकिन फिलहाल आपको बताना चाहेंगे कि मंदिर में लोग दर्शन करने के लिए आ रहे हैं, लेकिन लोगों को बहुत ज्यादा भीड़ करने की इजाजत नहीं है, बहुत ज्यादा लोगों को यहाँ पर आने नहीं दिया जा रहा है।
In Bengal, fresh violence was reported in Howrah district on Saturday as protesters clashed with the police and several houses were set on fire. Protesters pelted policemen with stones, injuring some of them, and also vandalized a BJP party office.
कानून की कोई स्थिति है ही नहीं। कानून और की स्थिति बंगाल में सिर्फ आज की घटना के लिए नहीं बल्कि रोजाना बिगड़ते जा रहे हैं। बंगाल के मुख्यमंत्री खुद कह रही है कि मुसलमान तुम दिल्ली में जाओ, वहां जाके अपना बात रखो, सरकार के खिलाफ मत करो.
We think the only solution will be paramilitary forces and the army needs to be there on the roads of Calcutta and the roads of West Bengal. They can control this situation, otherwise nobody can. And why isn't she getting the army? When she had taken help, when this Guru had created nuisance.
Looking at the aftermath of the violence across the states, is it clear that some wanted to create chaos in the name of protests? Who takes responsibility for the mayhem and the deaths? Let's debate.
Joining us on the burning question tonight, Rami Desai, a writer and political analyst, Karan Verma, author, political analyst, Patikrit Payne, a political analyst, Rahul Ishwar, an activist from Thiruvananthapuram. Syed Abbas will be joining us. He's not with us yet. Vivek Srivastava, a political analyst, Riju Datta, spokesman of the Trinamool Congress, live from Kolkata, and Ahmed Ayaz, a political analyst, live from Srinagar. So before we begin the debate, we have enough time and everyone will get enough time to put their points across. So let's not speak over each other and let's all stay calm. Because we have Riju Datta, who's the only spokesman for a political party on the debate. I'd like to start with you, Riju. Riju, we know the situation in Bengal. Looking at the pictures in Howrah, it's still being reported from different parts of Howrah. We've been looking at the pictures through the day for a second day today. Now, you're representing the Trinamool Congress. Do you have any doubt that there is an element of mischief also happening now?
Niranjan, thank you for coming to me first. Now, let me start off by saying that first of all, I want to condemn in the harshest words about the heinous, atrocious and the defamatory remarks that were made by Nupur Sharma, ex-BJP spokesperson, on Prophet Muhammad. And we also demand that she should be arrested immediately. Saying that a peaceful protest is a constitutional right, but as soon as you pick up stones, as soon as you start vandalizing, as soon as you start causing trouble and arson, you commit a criminal offense. And I say it very clearly on your channel, anyone who is found being a part of this mischief, a part of the vandalizing properties or burning houses, will be brought to book irrespective of caste, creed, color or religion or even political affiliation. Saying that, there are some political parties in Bengal, namely BJP, CPM and a part of Congress, who are inciting this violence. Now let me tell you what happened since the protests broke out in Bengal. We have imposed section 144, we have transferred the Howrah Rural SP and the Howrah Commissioner of Police, and we have made more than 80 arrests. Now what business does BJP President and BJP Netas have in Bengal going to Howrah, to a place where section 144 is already imposed? For what? For what is the need when the protest is against BJP? Now my question is this: BJP will commit a sin. Why will common people suffer? They will say something untoward. Why will India apologize for that? If BJP is not India. And lastly, the thing is, BJP has always campaigned for hate. TMC and Bengal are now campaigning for peace. The bottom line is the Frankensteins that BJP has created in the last 8 years, where it's a part of their toolkit to abuse the minorities, abuse the Dalits and the people of lower categories. Now they could not control them.
Yeah.
The snakes that they have raised are biting them now.
Yeah. Can I ask
that is the reason the country is burning.
Yeah. One short question. Can I ask you one short question? And Rahul wants to respond.
Please.
Have your political party leaders come out, the senior most leaders of your party come out, and have they condemned the violence?
Of course, and not only my senior party leaders, my chief minister. I am saying it on a reputed channel like Republic TV that we completely condemn this violence, and anybody belonging to any caste, creed, color, religion or political affiliation will be arrested, and the strictest arm of law will be taken against that person. But my question still is that when Nupur Sharma is suspended pending query, where just let me finish, when Tejinder Bagga was arrested and he was relieved from transit remand and a court was there at 12 o'clock in the night, why is Nupur Sharma not arrested? And if BJP is not supporting Nupur Sharma, then two important points. Why is Narendra Modi, Amit Shah and Rajnath Singh still following her?
But secondly,
if BJP is so doodh ka dhula, then on a serious debate like this, why BJP does not have a representation?
Now, can I ask you something? Okay, you know, you've spoken. Let me bring in the others now. Rami Desai and Rahul Ishwar both raising their hands. Now, it's in the realm of the law now. It's in the realm of the law, Rahul Ishwar. But I don't want to get into that. This debate is not about the comment or what triggered. It's really sad that because someone could not control a debate, and I'm saying that again, it's really sad that because somebody could not control a debate, we are in this position today. But that said, I want to talk about today, Rahul Ishwar. I want to talk about the pictures that came in today and continue to come into our newsrooms. From Ranchi.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Make your point and then I'll take that next.
Niranjanji, quick submission. I'm a Hindu activist who always adds Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when I speak about Holy Prophet or any other faith. We all respect all religions. Narendra Modi ji back in 2016 when he went to Saudi Arabia, he carried Kerala state, my state's chairman mosque, to give us a gift signifying the relationship between the Muslim world. See, we are all offended by what Nupur Sharma said. Nobody is justified.
Okay, lost your signal. Okay, Rami can come in. Okay, Rami. I'll bring Rami in. I just lost the line there with Rahul. Yeah. Rami wanted to respond. I saw you raising your hand there.
Yes, I did, Niranjan, because I think it's rich coming from the TMC after what happened after the Bengal post-poll violence to say that people will be brought to justice, that they unequivocally take offense to the riots that are happening. First of all, let me say this, that there are no ifs, buts, because of, or any other excuses when it comes to riots, physical harm, destruction of public property, irrespective of the offense or in the garb of playing the victim card. This is absolutely indefensible. And moreover so, when these riots are premeditated, it becomes even more so reprehensible, Niranjan, because it becomes a question of national security, because it means that the reputation of this nation, the welfare of your neighbors, and more importantly, the rule of law, by which all of us are expected to live by, means absolutely nothing to you. We've seen Bharat Mata statues being vandalized in the state of West Bengal. We've seen poor people's homes and businesses being targeted. Stones are available in large quantities, placed at vantage points. Molotov cocktails are at hand. Stockpile of illegal weapons are found. CCTV cameras are destroyed strategically. I mean, this gentleman needs to take responsibility for what's happening in his state and not turn around and say, it happened because of this. Because clearly the situation is out of control and it cannot go on like this. The problem, Niranjan, is that when a serious crackdown happens, like it happened in UP, the rule book will be thrown back at the people who support the rule of law. And this hypocrisy must stop, because this is exactly the reason rioters get emboldened. This is tacit support to people who riot under, they're rioting, but this is really anarchy. And people who support this, tacitly like this, really need to take responsibility of the larger consequences of this situation. And honestly, these protests are a disgraceful reminder that it's time for us to scrutinize the role of these marginalized political parties who have lost their political space to the present dispensation, whether it's an Abu Azmi who says, "Bacche to patthar marenge," whether it's a Lal Bihari Yadav, whether, I don't know, whether if it's an Imtiaz Jalil. The fact of the matter is that we need to hold people responsible who encourage this sort of behavior. And I think Mr. Riju needs to start off by apologizing for letting the situation go out of control in the state that he is a spokesperson for.
Okay, I'll give him 30 seconds. Because you mentioned him, I'll give him 30 seconds and I'll get the other panelists in.
Can I quick rebuttal, please? Thank you so much. Miss Rami spoke about responsibility. Yes, ma'am, I agree with you. When the Prime Minister of India gets up early in the morning and tweets a happy birthday to some minister in a foreign land, why is he mum? Why is the Home Minister and the Prime Minister not taking responsibility of what is happening in the country? What BJP, even he is the Prime Minister, he is the tallest leader of BJP, and it is his spokesperson for whom the India is burning, and India had to apologize to more than 60 countries. Why is Prime Minister mum? Why is Home Minister mum?
I don't know whether you've heard about the tweet.
And rather than
have you seen the tweet? Have you seen the tweet put out by Yogi Adityanath?
I have heard.
No. Have you seen the tweet put out by Yogi Adityanath?
No. Yogi Adityanath is not the Prime Minister of the country.
No, but that's but he's taking no. Why should?
What happened in Uttar Pradesh?
No, my question to one minute.
Rather than sensationalizing, can I please finish?
10 seconds.
Can I please finish in 10 seconds? And rather than sensationalizing what has happened in Bengal, let me inform your viewers, it happened in 1 out of 21 districts of Bengal, which is Howrah, and it happened only one small part of Howrah, which is less than 0.1 fraction of Bengal. So please don't sensationalize this. Look into your BJP-run states of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh.
No, please, it's not about, no, this debate is not about your state versus my state versus whether you failed or I failed. It's at the end of the day, there is a rule of law. There are FIRs across India. It's not in one city. There are FIRs across India. And the police, I assume, in all of these cities and states, some which are BJP ruled, some which are not BJP ruled, will investigate and take action. But till then, you can't say, Rahul, but till then, you can't say, because there is no action, because there is no arrest, I will go out on the streets and I will ensure there is mayhem on the streets. Today, you had a Samajwadi Party MP. Now, Rahul, I just want to make a point. Today, there was a Samajwadi Party MP, his name is S.T. Hassan, who said that these violent protests will increase because there is no arrest. I mean, who is he to say that? That is my question. Rahul, and then Vivek Srivastava is coming in next.
Niranjan ji, please remember, they are sugar.
You hear him, Vivek. I want Rahul to complete, like I said. No, I want Rahul to speak and Vivek will respond. Rahul, listen. Vivek, please listen to Rahul. Yeah. Rahul, speak. Vivek will listen and then respond.
Yeah, Niranjan ji, what they are doing is they are sugarcoating and justifying. They are sugarcoating and rationalizing. They are being clever by half. They are first condemning and saying that these all have a reason. So in effect, what they are doing is rationalization. In effect, what they are doing is justification. And this is giving a cover fire for all the extreme elements to vent out.
You hear him out. I'll give you your time to ask questions.
Rahul, why? Who is there? At least and even today morning. See, even today morning.
Who's there? I told you, you don't have to jump the gun, Vivek. Hear him out.
Why don't you listen here? Why don't you listen, Mr. Vivek? Even today morning, Mr. Imtiaz, I was actually supporting him, saying that he didn't say so. But, many people are saying he asked for, even hanging of Nupur Sharma. If he has not said so, he has a responsibility to come out and say, I was being misquoted by a popular news agency. Many people are using it as an occasion to appease many people.
Rahul.
And they want, sir, please listen, for God's sake.
Go ahead.
Give me one line.
Complete your point.
Please remember, non-violence is non-negotiable, whatever be the reason. Non-violence is non-negotiable in modern democracy. We are all offended when our God or gods or prophets are insulted. We have 153A, we have 295. Let the legal process be done. BJP has already taken action. Let the legal process be done. And after so many things happen, what is the point of carrying out procession? What is the point of show of strength? So I would request my Muslim brothers to come forward, condemn any kind of violence, condemn any kind of violence,
don't jump the gun.
Hold on. Trust the Indian law. I only want one line. I would request my Muslim brothers to come forward, trust the law. Let the law take its own course. There has already been FIR filed. There has already Nupur Sharma, has been in the legal process. Why are you jumping the gun and creating trouble? Please alienate the hardliners. Let the moderates come forward and say enough is enough. Please trust Indian law. Let it take forward. What is the point? What is the problem with it?
Yeah, because you mentioned, I wanted to rebut and tell you that it was not a case of misquoting a parliamentarian. In fact, there was a second soundbite that came in today. I want to confirm there was a second soundbite that came in of the parliamentarian that you're mentioning from the AIMIM, and he's heard once again calling for hanging in public.
I was shocked.
Yes,
Absolutely.
It's not a case of misquoting. Now, Vivek Srivastava, the question is, now, when the police says that they are probing the role of PFI and AIMIM, aren't they wrong? when such comments are being made.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, see, these are old stories, PFI story, SIMI story, AIMIM
I asked you about
story.
AIMIM.
You know, why doesn't Rahul Ishwaran, yeah, I'm telling you, let me answer, let me speak now, give me good time. First of all, you need to understand that nobody is questioning the BJP and its intention and the training of its own media person. Nobody is questioning it on the panel. There is a difference between Niranjan and there is a difference between Nupur Sharma, and the difference is that Niranjan is a journalist. You do 20 mistakes, 100 mistakes, it will be called as freedom of expression.
No,
and you can say
please,
whatever you want.
No, it's not.
But
It's
Nupur
not.
Sharma, who's a trained media personality, let me speak, boss. Then you speak if you're interrupting me. Who are you to say no? You have not even heard me here. एक जर्नलिस्ट में, पत्रकार में और एक स्पोक्सपर्सन में कोई फर्क नहीं होता, निरंजन. Are you trying to tell me that a journalist and the spokesperson of the ruling party and the government, they are the same and they have to be judged in the same way? Can the freedom of expression, which is applicable for a journalist, it should be applied to the media person? Is Nupur Sharma applicable for media of expression? She should be let off. FIR has 31 more people into it, in which there is Sabha Naqvi also. And she is a journalist and she has not.
No, what's your point?
What is your point?
No,
You
what's your
simply
point,
say
Vivek?
your point.
Not getting your point.
What
Vivek,
is
what
the
is your
point?
point?
Let me complete. My point is the Hindutva brigade of the RSS, the BJP, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, the Bajrang Dal, they are mischievous. They do not believe in the constitution.
Yeah, Vivek, you're
They do not
Vivek,
train the
Vivek.
Violence. What are you talking?
Vivek, for God's sake, Vivek, 1 minute, 1 minute. Vivek, please, don't make it more controversial, please, 1 minute. I told you, this. What was my question? What is your answer?
They speak against
What was my
Islam.
question? What is your answer?
Violence is happening
and
on street.
when-
You take out your anger on BJP later.
Yeah.
No,
You take
1
out
minute.
your anger on RSS later.
No, 1 minute,
Violence is
Rahul,
happening on street.
Rahul, 1 second, Rahul, 1 second, Rahul, 1 second.
No, you
Sir,
cannot
please.
escape, you cannot escape.
You know, Vivek, I know,
It is
Vivek,
the
1 minute, 1
BJP
minute, please.
which has
Vivek, I told you,
been
Vivek, 1 minute,
Islamophobic
Vivek.
on the national media again and
Please,
again.
1 minute, Vivek, just calm. I told you, calm. You can speak calmly. First of all, you can speak calmly. Point number 2, it's really stupid to make a comparison between, first of all, we're not debating the comment itself. That was 1 week back, okay? Today we are talking about the law and order situation. Point number 1. Point number 2, you can't compare the comments. I mean, what are you saying? 31 people are there. You want me to tell you what each person has said? I can't say it on national TV, okay? But each one of them has offended. I have the posts.
Trying to create a
I have
balance
details.
now.
1 minute. I have the details
No,
of.
maybe yes or maybe not. But the timing is wrong.
Oh.
Those 29 other people.
So, okay,
should have
no,
been
1
dealt
minute.
with
In
at
that case,
different
what was
time.
my question? 1 minute. What was my question to you, Vivek? Yeah,
They
Karan
are
is coming in.
dealing
My
with
question
them
was.
simultaneously.
No,
with Nupur Sharma
my question
to
was-
strike a balance.
So you now, are you against balance?
Islamophobia on the national
Or
TV.
you-
every
No,
day.
for God's sake, please.
Every day.
Vivek,
And
what
the
are you
BJP
talking
gets
about?
it done.
Vivek,
and
please.
when there are protests and
Okay.
they turn violent, now you are crying foul.
No, please, Vivek, I think, you look at the pictures yourself. Let me go across to Karan. Karan is coming in and Ahmed Ayaz hasn't spoken. Let Karan come in. Karan, what was my question? My question is, videos are there. Yeah, videos are there showing an element of pre-planning. We're only saying, shouldn't community leaders come out and say an appeal for everyone to calm down? It's not happening. Instead, there are controversial comments being made by sitting parliamentarians included, is what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely, Nilanjan. And Vivek, my good friend Vivek, has the same manufactured anger in every single debate. He comes up with the same analogy. He is equally angry every time, and it has no connection with what we are discussing. So my sympathies with him also, where he has to bring up Hindutva
why don't
Brigade,
you arrest
Bajrang Dal
Nupur
into
Sharma?
every parliament.
This is not a debate about that. Come on, don't divert.
arrest her?
Vivek, let me
Obviously,
complete.
yes.
This incident, what has happened, the protest.
There is a hate politics and Islamophobia in this country.
Vivek, please,
And you are
Vivek, I
showing
told you
Muslims
can
and
do this
Islam
calmly.
as bad
Vivek,
like
you also
every
have a
day.
responsibility. I'll tell you as a panelist, even you have a responsibility not to raise tempers, please.
Vivek, you need to calm down. You know, when this debate started, Nilanjan, and Mr. Riju, he mentioned in one breath, barely has he completed the condemnation of the violence, and he comes to Nupur. Now, this sort of a half-hearted condemnation is not going to calm the tempers down. Irrespective of what Nupur said, we have all condemned it, action has been taken. Nothing justifies violence of this kind.
Because, my friend,
There cannot be
Nupur Sharma is
violence
the cause,
just
she
because
should
of
be
a
arrested.
perceived hate
She is scot
speech.
free.
Just
And the Prime
because
Minister is
someone's
protecting her.
sentiments are offended
She is the root
doesn't
cause.
mean the law
Why is she
is
not
taken in
banned
one's
bars?
hands. Law and order is paramount, and that is a message that Vivek and Riju have to understand. Irrespective of what she said,
No, put
there
her-
can be a judicial
I
process,
understand it very
there can
well.
be a legal process.
You hear him out
but
now.
we
He was
cannot-
talking about Riju
we
and Emma.
cannot pick
Islamophobia,
up-
Islamophobia.
He was talking
is
about,
also
please,
known
for God's
as-
sake,
This is
don't,
not Islamophobia.
don't,
Where is
I
this
told you, Vivek,
Islamophobia
don't,
in this?
Vivek,
also not
please.
Indian law.
Vivek, you know, one minute. Okay, let me settle that. Karan Verma.
Vivek is
Karan Verma,
being
let me
an
settle that.
artist.
1 minute. Let me settle that. Let me settle what he has said, okay? Now he says there is this, there is that, there is this, there is that, okay? Let me just factually tell you without getting in the details of the people who've been booked and why they've booked. Shadab Chauhan of the Peace Party made a controversial comment about the Hindu gods, okay? That wasn't Islamophobia. 1 minute, just calm down, okay? I'm giving you the facts. Sabah Naqvi was a journalist who tweeted on the shivling. I don't want to get into what she tweeted. It was offensive. Please, for God's sake. For God's sake, it is offensive. Please, it may not be offensive to you. It may not be offensive to you. It may be offensive for someone else, okay?
Was it
1 minute,
before
1
Nupur?
minute, 1 minute,
How many
1
days
minute.
plus and
Calm down,
minus?
Vivek, calm down. We're having a factual debate based on facts. I'm giving you facts because you made a point. I'm trying to counter you and somebody else can respond to that. Hafizul Hasan Ansari, a Jharkhand minister, threatened violence. He said, I don't want to get into the details of what he said, but he made a controversial remark. It's on
And
record.
what Imtiaz Jalil
1
said.
minute.
And
Wait. Let's go one by one, right? Because he's saying he's making a very serious allegation. He's saying it's one-sided, and I don't want to get into that. That's not the point. I'm putting some facts of why people have been booked, right? There's a leader called Bihari Lal Yadav, Samajwadi Party leader. He also mocked the shivling, right? There is Ilyas Sharafuddin. I don't want to get into it. There are videos. Right? I don't want to get into it. 1 minute. Wait. No, you're wrong. No, Vivek, you're wrong when you try and. No, your narrative. What was my question? It's very irresponsible of you to do that, Vivek. Vivek, don't do that. You have a responsibility too. Let me bring in Patikrit and Ahmad Ayaz. Patikrit.
Niranjan, let me first tell you, as a country, India has always respected all religions, including Islam. And there is, the space has always given for protest under Constitution. But what we have been seeing as a trend is, arson, rioting, destruction of properties, burning of houses, throwing of petrol bombs, complete anarchy, all in the name of peaceful protest. And 2 years back, I had written an article on the agenda of Project Arab Spring. There is a continuous agenda in this country to create an Arab Spring kind of a insurrection in this country to pin down the government. And, they started it with anti-CAA riots and they mastered it during the anti-farm law protest. And now they have fine-tuned it to that extent that you find military-grade precision with which synchronization is happening, where we don't know what is happening. We are scared to get out, right? And in a matter of few hours, the whole country's major cities are literally on tenterhooks. This is not what is supposed to happen in a $3.5 trillion economy. And let me tell you this, you know what's going to happen next? In the next 1 week, you will have Washington Post articles, New York Times articles written by some leftist and so-called, seculars of this country. And there would be somebody from America who would say, oh, we are keeping an eye on the minority persecution and human rights violation in India. Issue is something else. Issue is India's foreign policy, independent foreign policy, which a lot of people are not liking. So let me tell you the objective eventually. The images of yesterday. I respect Islam. I respect the right to protest. But the images of yesterday, look at this. How would an investor look at the things yesterday and how would he perceive? Would he feel confidence in investing in this country? And that is where a lot of organizations want to pin India down. This is something cannot happen.
In a country,
I don't want a situation in this country where a law-abiding citizen feels let down because a bunch of anarchists is taking the country to ransom. You protest, you have the right to protest. Protest against everything. I condemn the statements against Prophet Muhammad. I respect Islam. But similar statements against everybody should be condemned and do not take law and order in the hand. Today you don't require terror attack. Terrorizing the society with arson and riot has become the new dimension of terrorism. Organized violence is becoming a new dimension of terrorism.
I'll tell you. Patikrit.
Should I come in, Niranjan?
Yes, you can. I just want to make a point. I'll make a point. 1 second, Karan, I'll make a point. I want to make a point.
Niranjan, I want to come in now.
Yeah, you can come in. I will let you come in. But I want to make a point and I'm handing it over to you, Ahmad Ayaz. Listen to me calmly, okay? Calmly. Now, Jharkhand is a state ruled by the opposition. Ranchi is one of the worst affected cities. 2 lives were lost in Ranchi in the violence. Okay? Bullet shots were seen in different parts. Now let me tell you what the government in Jharkhand is saying. Okay? I'm quoting the minister. Okay? I'm reading from PTI. I'm not making this up. For everybody, because there are some who will blame the center, but the visuals tell you another story. And then there are ministers like this in Jharkhand who has said, his name is Banna Gupta. He has said opportunist forces conspired to disturb peace in Ranchi in an organized fashion. I'll repeat that. A Jharkhand minister has said opportunist forces conspired to disturb the peace and tranquility in state capital Ranchi in an organized fashion. Now, I'm wondering whether in a spontaneous protest, people would carry guns and open fire. Ahmad Ayaz, this is a Jharkhand minister. See, I'll tell you, every political leader, like how all of you like to question the media, it's okay, it's your right, it's a free country, you can do that. But you also have a responsibility as political leaders, political analysts to come out and, sometimes leave political differences aside and say, let's stop this now, let's deal with this once the fire is doused, right? Absolutely. Haven't heard anybody, because you're from Srinagar, I want to ask you, wouldn't be incumbent on the leaders like, Mehbooba Mufti, Omar Abdullah for all, instead of pointing fingers, to come out and ask for peace? And there was this vile tape in Jammu, because of which all of Jammu and Kashmir is impacted. Did anybody say a word about that tape? Not one word. And it was made from a religious place. I'm not getting into the details. I don't want to repeat the comments. But isn't it their responsibility to come out and condemn what was said? Ahmad Ayaz.
Absolutely, Naranjan. The protesters have to be peaceful, and there is no place of violence, nor any violence can be encouraged in a protest. Absolutely not. But when we see, it reminds of many such protests which have turned violent in the past also. So it's not that today only it has happened. It has been happening, of course, not acceptable and not appreciable, not at all. But these things have been happening in the past also. It is reminded us of
yes, it's happened. It's happened on
agitation.
There is always a
agitation.
No. I'll let him complete his point. Let
me complete.
I'll let you complete your point.
Nature of the protest,
please.
And the manner in which you handle a protest. I mean, there are a lot of factors, and then the political, as you rightly said, that politics comes in. So, absolutely, if at all somebody has to protest to see that his demands are met or some justice is done to the people, but these have to be violence-free. And it is a responsibility of the people who are in the protest, as well as the leaders, political leaders, social leaders, religious leaders, whoever are there, to see that the protest, because we have seen during the protest, the public property gets damaged, the lives gets lost. You see, a lot of things are happening. So whenever we meet to protest, it should be absolutely free of violence. But unfortunate part is, it has been most of the time violent, as we have seen in the past also. It reminds me, 3 days back there was a protest in the Uttarakhand, where some rape case was reported, and 2 people possibly, I saw a video, I don't know whether that was right or true, right or wrong, 2 people were burned alive.
Sir, please don't try to rationalize.
No, 1 minute. Okay. Ahmad Ayaz, at this point, I'll interrupt you. You said yes, such. I'll tell you. I just want to make a point, and it has been happening, and that's another question to ask, right? And thank you for bringing that point up. In the recent few weeks, I'd say in the last 2 months, look at the kind of incidents of violence that have happened, right? You've had the violence post or during Ram Navami, on the day of the Ram Navami, during the Ram Navami processions. In Khambat, in Khargon, you had it in Rajasthan, you had it in Madhya Pradesh, you had it in Gujarat, right? Now,
Haryana or Jat agitation?
No, I'm not talking about the Jat agitation. I'm talking immediately in the last few months, right?
Lately.
Now, he has a point, Patikrit has a point, that there is a deliberate attempt to find a trigger, right? To find a trigger and capitalize on that trigger.
Absolutely.
And then make it seem, right? And the best part
can I make
of
a point? Niranjan, can I make one point?
Nilanjan, can I make a point?
Quickly, okay, I'll let Patikrit come.
Niranjan,
Patikrit and Karan, 30 seconds, and then I'll get Riju in. Yeah, Riju and
let me
Abbas
tell
also is
you.
joining us. Yeah.
You know, Niranjan, the anarchists and those who are doing the rioting are not even 0.01% of the Muslim population. The Muslims of this country have contributed enormously, and Abbas is also there, a good friend of mine. So let me tell you this thing that I would really want, I don't want to make it communal, but it is today time for the educated Muslims to come out and say, look, this is not the way. This is not the way. And let me tell you, if the country, whether something happens in West Bengal or Maharashtra, whether something happens in West Bengal or Maharashtra, it's the image of the country gets destroyed. If tomorrow investments don't come in, we all
I
suffer.
think it's
So we have to take a collective
yes.
responsibility.
I think all sides, it's incumbent on all sides. No, I'll tell you.
It's a provocation. Law and order.
Patikrit. Yeah, 1 minute, Patikrit, 1 minute. I think it's incumbent on all sides to draw the line. I think incumbent on all sides to draw the line and say, there are lines you can't cross, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly add.
Okay, Karan, 30 seconds, and I'll let Abbas come in. Abbas and Riju have been waiting to come in. Okay.
Nilanjan, what this protest has done it has exposed a lot of people. It was a great opportunity for an Asaduddin Owaisi to come forward and tell the community to stay away from violence. It was a great opportunity for so many influencers and politicians. Instead, we had people like Imtiaz Jalil come forward. I think that is the sad part. We don't want it communal. We want to look through the prism of law and order purely on a clinical basis. But it's time people of the community came forward and said, we have to distance from the fringe. And this is not the way our community should be represented.
No, but I'll tell you, Karan, today when Asaduddin Owaisi, because you mentioned him, and let me get in all panelists, I'll get Abbas to respond to this, and then, Riju has been waiting. Okay, let me put this question to Riju. Okay? Riju, and then Rami can come in, right? Riju, just want to get your point of view on this, okay? He made a very good point that Asaduddin Owaisi speaks. He says, I condemn the violence, arrest should happen, law must be followed, we go by the constitution, right? He says the right thing. But on the ground, his MLA has been seen, or rather, he's a parliamentarian, MP, Imtiaz Jalil, MP on 2 occasions, asking for hanging. Now what happens is in one video that came in today, and we're not broadcasting that for obvious reasons, we don't want to incite anybody.
No, thank you for practicing.
No, wait, 1 minute. He's seen standing and there's a crowd in front of him and everyone sort of whipped up, right? And he says, she must be hanged, right? Now I don't know the date of this video. But then you have 2 sides to one party. Now, that could be the case with many parties. They'll be saying something in public, but at the cadre level, something else is going on. Right? Riju, what's your take on that? It will be interesting to get your take on what's happening.
Yeah. So, Niranjan, first of all, even I am not a spokesperson of MIM, but what I'll say is this. I have heard this MIM MP saying what he was saying, and it is shocking. It is condemnable, and this country is run by the Indian Constitution. This country does not run by any religious scriptures, be it any religion. So as per the constitution of the law, strict action should be taken against him first. And I don't know, some gentlemen probably here are hard of hearing where I have said, and I'm saying this in the same breath as what my chief minister and my party chairperson has said, that we condemn violence strongly, irrespective of what the issue is. If you do a peaceful protest, fair enough, that's your constitutional right. You resort to violence, you will be put behind bars. But I will also want to ask you this. When this country is in such a sensitive state, there is one person, and I'm naming that person on your channel, Sulabh Mani Tripathi. He puts out a tweet which is liked by all the UP leaders, where some of these rioters have been caught and they're bashed inside a police station by the cops, and his heading is, this is a return gift to dissenters and rioters. Is that necessary? Is that necessary? Please tell me this. Why is the Prime Minister mum? The Prime Minister should, even though law and order is a state subject, it is his country.
But
the
would you
country
agree?
voted for him, for
Can
God's
I
sake.
come in
He
here?
should
Can I come in here for a
he
minute?
should make a comment on it.
No, can I come in here for a minute? Can I come in here for a minute? If I have those pictures, I'll pull those pictures out and let everybody be on the screen and we'll put the pictures out, okay? And I want you to look at those pictures where a police officer in Jharkhand, in Ranchi, is beaten, is bleeding, right? And those are pictures from Saharanpur. That's a CCTV footage on the right. On the left is what happened, the aftermath of Ranchi. On the right, I'll pull out the pictures from yesterday, where you have police officers who are injured, some of them bleeding, right? Why do they have to go through what they do and you expect them not to lathi charge? I'm not justifying lathi charge, but if someone is being rounded up into a van for...
Police has to follow the rule book, sir.
Everybody has to follow the rule book. Everybody has to follow. I'm not justifying.
Police can do lathi. Police can lathi charge.
Vivek, 1 minute. Vivek, hold on. Vivek, calmly. Hold on. Vivek, calmly.
Can use water cannons.
Follow the rule book.
1 minute. No, it's. But then later.
Police can use. Can I answer, Niranjan?
Yes. Okay, Riju, I'll give you 10 seconds and I'll get in. Rami. Wait. Riju. Rami and Rahul, I'm coming to you next.
Yes, police can lathi charge, police can use force, police can use water cannons, police can use tear gas, and even police can fire if the situation demands, no questions. But a politician tweeting a video of people who are caught from these mobs thrashed by police inside a police station in a sensitive situation is irresponsible, and there should be law against that politician.
You have every right. No, you have every right. You have every right to make your point of view. Rahul, I'm coming to you. Rahul and Rami, I'm coming to you right now. I'm coming to you right now. But I want to ask. No, he says that he should not have said that. Then the police will say the rioters should not have done what they did. Those are pictures from Saharanpur. Let me put out the pictures from Saharanpur and Prayagraj. Stones were pelted on the police. What are they supposed to do? If they don't control the law and order situation, who will? Because tomorrow somebody else will ask them.
Niranjan, I am not talking about what the police did on the road. Niranjan,
he cannot fight fire with the
Okay, Rahul is responding to you. Rahul is responding and then Rami is coming in.
I just have a one-line submission. Please remember, he cannot fight fire with fire. He can only dose the fire by pouring in water. It is easy to fall for hate. It is like Rakta Bija in Indian mythology. It keeps on multiplying. It is cancerous. So we need moderation from all sides. There are people in all sides, the fringes, who will make provocative comments. Even today morning, I was writing to ANI saying that, no, the Imtiaz may be misquoted. But I was shocked and pained to know that he was not misquoted.
He was not. There are two videos.
So please, yeah, exactly. What you said is absolutely right. So we need moderation from all sides. All leaders of all parties should come and pour water. But there are many people who wants to add fuel to the fire. Abbas Bhai, who's a good friend of mine, will recollect. No, I am a person being a Hindu activist who filed a complaint against Satwi Prachi for her anti-Muslim comments. We need moderate Muslims to come forward and say we trust the Indian law process, but we don't want any kind of violence.
Rahul, you know what? I have to bring in Abbas. I completely forgot. Sorry, Abbas, I've kept you waiting. But I just want to show you a video, okay? Our reporters are on the ground. And the situation in Ranchi was so bad, the videos were so bad, we are not broadcasting a lot of it because it's not the right time to do it, right? But I won't name the place of worship, but stones were pelted at a place of worship, and our reporter was there. She did a report from there, right next to the place of worship. There are bullet marks, right, on poles, etc. It is incumbent, and it is incumbent on everybody to condemn such violence, Abbas. It is. Yesterday, in Karnataka, people were hanging effigies of Nupur Sharma for what? There is a rule of law in India, right? Abbas, you follow the rule, I follow the rule. Each of us have to follow the rule.
Niranjan, as a matter of fact, amongst all this news, since you're also from Bangalore City, I would say, a positive good news. I'm very glad the newly appointed Commissioner of Police from Bangalore City, C. Pratap Reddy ji, took an initiative. He invited all the religious heads of the Muslim community, of the Sikh community, of the Christian community, and the Jain community, all of them together, and he told them, We are with you, we will cooperate with you, and all of you together need to work with us. Police, cooperate, because we will not allow the Karnataka police or the state of Bangalore city police will not allow any such anti-social behavior. So therefore, he said this responsibility is not just with you, but us, the police. And he gave us full assistance, Niranjan Anna, and you're from Bangalore City, and you know the Karnataka police. This is a measure which we are looking out for. Also, my friend Karan, my friend Patikrit and Rahul, I've been debating on them on various issues, but I stand with them and they say, yes, certainly. The onus lies upon every single individual, every educated person of every community to come and call out. Why? Violence only begets violence. I was on the show, Niranjan Anna, along with you and Aishwarya said something very beautiful, that no religion wants us to fight with each other. Every religion speaks peace. And my respect to journalists like you for not showing that video, which would have caused more violence, where people are talking about ill from that community, and that's very shameful. And I thank you, sir, for not bringing out that video. Imagine you show that video and how much more violence comes in. So therefore, the need of our Niranjan Anna is for us to be sane voices. Hate begets hate. We only need to calm down, speak, come along with the police force, have peace meetings. I think it's upon each one of us to reach out of the police. You know, it's so unfortunate when we see a policeman crying, a policeman being beaten up. We need to understand they are humans too, but they have a uniform. That's about it. So therefore, with both my hands folded, I request that this is a very bad picture being painted.
Yes.
Because of few rioters, the whole community. You tell us, will our Prophet Muhammad, will he be happy by seeing all of this? It will hurt him. Don't you think when you call a Gustake Rasool to one person for bad naming the Prophet, will the Prophet be happy by seeing any of this stone pelting happening? Absolutely not. This is painting the wrong picture. And I am sure today, if the Prophet Muhammad was there, he would not be happy with such a scenario. And therefore, I believe every Muslim intellectual, every ulema-e-deen, every young community brother of mine must and should come out unequivocally, unconditionally condemn such violence, because this is not what Islam preaches. This is not the same voice of Islam.
I think Karan and Rami want to say something. Okay, Rami, I'll come to you. You know, because and Vivek also wants to speak. I'll give the last word to Vivek, but before that, I'd like to go across to Rami. You know, the same people who like to sort of, you know, preach about whether India is so fragile that one comment or one statement can break the unity of the country. You know, the same people then amplify it, right, Rami? And then it's a pattern. I don't want to get into that because what was said was wrong. But are we so fragile that we let the situation get to this?
Niranjan, you make a good point, you know, and I don't think essentially we are a fragile civilization. Having said that, the way the world works today with social media, with, you know, the kind of debates we've seen on a lot of news channels, the kind of heightened emotions that people have, I think there is a certain amount of sensitivity that I think people have to get over. Having said that, Niranjan, let me say this, you know, while I appreciate what Mr. Bhatt said, and while I appreciate what Mr. Riju said, you know, about the fact that people must be really sensitive and must be concerned about how other people are going to take certain statements or videos that are being passed around. In the same breath, I think it would also make for a great gesture if they supported leadership that is taking really strong steps, irrespective of the political party. For example, the UP Chief Minister, you know, he's made no bones about the fact that the rule of law is the most important word to live by in his state. And I don't see anybody from the opposition appreciating that fact. While I also agree with Mr. Bhatt that, you know, no religion would want this, I think we also have to accept the reality that there is a pattern in this disruption. Maybe, you know, nobody wants to talk about it right now, but the fact of the matter is, and I've written about this, I've studied this, that, you know, it's almost being, protests are being used, like I said earlier, not just even as anarchy, but as a new form of urban warfare, where, you know, war is not being fought on the borders, but to fulfill certain maybe international vested interests, maybe political agendas. to fulfill these intentions. These protests are turning into violence
I've completely run out of time.
to intimidate a democratically elected government. And I don't think that is fair on any
No,
account.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something, Rami. It's the point about urban warfare. Karan, I've run out of time. I've run out of time completely. I'll give 30 seconds to Vivek because he's spoken just once. Vivek, I'm coming to you. Hold on, Vivek. I see Vivek. See, Vivek, you have the right. It's a free country. You can speak. You can blame whoever you want, but you have to admit, in some cases, like for example, in yesterday, the Delhi Jama Masjid, the Shahi Imam said. He said, go and ask the AIM, they may have been responsible. Today when the police is saying AIM, you have to admit, and there are speeches, you have to question. But you can't be blind and say, but you know, you have to admit. You have to admit, is it responsible?
Why are you not questioning the government? Why? They have mismanaged it. You are the laughing stock of the whole world.
Talking about something that happened 1 week back, this has been discussed and debated. Come on,
Vivek. Human rights record.
Vivek, 30 seconds, I'll give you if you want to make a point.
On another day. Come to the point.
And why don't you arrest
You blame Modi ji on another day.
No, why don't you ask? The law is taking its course.
Why are you trying to protect that lady?
Who's trying to protect?
Wrong?
No, 1 second. Who's trying to protect? No, who's trying to protect? Who's trying to protect?
Whatever you say,
who's trying to protect?
We are with you and we will protect you.
No, who's trying to protect?
That is the message the government is trying to get.
1 second. Who's trying to protect?
What is the problem?
Who's trying to protect?
Calm the tempers. Cool down.
Mr. Yogi is not supposed to bulldoze the world.
Yeah. Law is taking its own course, and let me tell you, I don't know whether you know the breaking news update, but she's been summoned by different police, different cities, different police departments in different cities, right? So the law is taking its course. You have to be patient. You have to be patient, okay? You have to be patient. Not go out there and start being violent. Vivek, calm down. Thank you, everyone.